awards.
Yes, I just came back from Washington, D.C. I was there with Yoga Alliance International. And a few weeks ago, if you guys remembered, I asked everyone in your audience to vote for me for the Community Choice Award, which I ended up receiving.
Yay!
So I was really excited about that.
Look at that gorgeous award.
That is a neat
Isn't
trophy.
that cool? And that one that you're holding, Jackie, is functional. It's a clock, too. So I can see what time it is.
Okay, so what's the one
office.
Jackie holding? She's holding which one?
So that's called the Warrior Award, which I received for working with first responders, with police and fire and military as well. Yoga Alliance is the international accreditation organization for yoga teachers. And then this is the Community Choice Award. So there was a bunch of people who got awards, and then one of us got the Community Choice. So
And this is the one you really wanted too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really cool. It's going to do great things for the organization, and it's a nice shot in the arm of motivation for me. So thank you, Yoga Alliance, and thank you for everyone who put in their vote for me. I really appreciate it. It was a really fun weekend.
Well, now you know we're working with one of the best
There
here
you go. I'll
in
grab that
Central
from you
Iowa.
here.
Okay, so we'll put these down. So tell us.
Globe is separate.
I'm kind of liking this idea of doing yoga in a spinny chair. So what's going on this morning?
Well, I was inspired by all my traveling. I just got back from
Right.
DC for yoga as you travel. You know, now in an airport, I just go in a corner and do a full-on sun salutation. But this embarrasses my husband a little bit, so he'll sit in
You
another
throw a mat down and you just go
yeah,
at it,
I
or-
just go, no mat, I just
You
go
just do
for
it?
it. People step over me. So this is some stuff you can do that's a little bit more discreet
All right.
if you're not a yoga traveling exhibitionist like I am. And you might know when we travel, we kind of get to our destination, we don't feel so hot.
Right.
We feel stiff, digestion isn't very good, we kind of feel off balance. That's mainly because we're not moving the spine when we travel, and we sit slumped like this in an airport.
Those seats are not great.
No, you sit like this is where you sit.
Yeah, in the airplane you're like this. You're sitting like this, you
Yeah.
know. And so your internal organs aren't functioning to the level that they should be functioning. That's why we feel kind of funky.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
this is stuff that you can do so you don't feel so bad. You actually feel revived
good.
when you get to your destination, right? Okay, so you can do this waiting for your plane, or even some of the things you can do on your plane. The plane. So let's start with just the head and neck. So first of all, sitting up nice and tall, of course, as usual.
All right.
And we're tapping into our conscious breath, as we say every single week. And then from here, just drop the chin to the chest. Now notice I'm pulling my shoulders back. If you let your shoulders slump forward, yeah, you might feel like the head is moving more forward, but it's not really getting what we're trying to achieve here. So pull the shoulders back.
It feels like your back of your neck is stretching out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Now each time you exhale, see if you can kind of release a little bit more. So sometimes we feel like we're unflexible when it's really resistance from doing the posture, right? We're holding ourselves
Right.
up. So just kind of each time you exhale, let the head drop down even more. Now as you inhale, take one ear to one shoulder. So I'm going to take the right ear to the right shoulder, stretching. Now make sure you don't lift the right shoulder up, keep it dropped. As you exhale, chin back to the chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin back to the chest. You can do that a few times. And then let's inhale and bring it back up to neutral. Let's go into the shoulders now. So inhale, lift the shoulders up by the ears. Tense, 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 tense. Now as you drop the shoulders, sigh out the mouth. Yeah, I mean, you could do that a couple times too. Even that, I kind of feel.
You do that while you're waiting for your plane anyway. A delay again?
Right, exactly. So get that exasperation out rather than, you know, sort of keeping it in. So we did our head, we did our neck and shoulders. Let's move on to our spine. We want to move it in every direction the spine can move.
Okay.
Starting with extension and flexion. I usually take my hand to the armrest and I pull my chest forward. I imagine a big S on my chest, like Superman.
All right.
And I'm pushing it forward as I inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Now as you exhale, round the spine, let the chin drop to the chest like we did before, and now you can let the shoulders roll forward, unlike previous. Now inhale, extend. Oh, feel those crackings. And exhale, round. Good. So
And
we
I'm
did
feeling it like toward the bottom of my spine, too, the lower
So
spine.
you get the lower spine, you get the entire spine involved. So sit back up to neutral. So we did extension and flexion. Let's do lateral stretching now, and I like to add in a tricep stretch. So I take my left elbow, I lift it up, inhale, lift tall, and exhale, side stretch. It's like I'm pulling my left elbow over my head. Nice. That's very good, you guys. Keep breathing, Lou.
Oh,
Inhale,
forgot.
lift up. I saw some holding of the breath. Let's switch. It's easy to hold the breath, right?
Yeah, it
so
really
inhale,
is.
lift up, exhale, stretch. Now keep doing your conscious breath work. That's the most important part. Good.
Now remind
Inhale.
everybody about the breathing part. Through the mouth, through the nose.
Through the nose is preferable. You can preferable. You can bring the arms down. It's preferable because it's calming through the nose.
Okay.
We did let it out through the mouth with a little relief, but default always to the nose.
Okay.
So we did extension, flexion, lateral. Now let's do rotation.
Okay, I
So
like that
really
part.
plant the feet and legs down, because when we turn the spine, sometimes the legs tend to do this, right? And that doesn't really twist the spine too much. So if you really press down, you're also going to feel the extension nice and tall. Walk your hands to the right. One hand can come behind you if possible. Left hand can come to the armrest. Inhale, sit tall, shoulders down. And exhale, rotate, looking over your right shoulder. Even your eyeballs are looking to the far back corner. Yeah, you get a nice stretch. And then come back to center. Remember, you can stay there for a couple of breaths.
Okay.
So as we walk to the
And remember
left,
to breathe, too,
remember
yeah.
to breathe. So each time you inhale, you sit up nice and tall. And each time you exhale, you rotate. You guys are sounding like the yoga teachers now. You know exactly the cueing. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rotate. Good. And then back to center. We can do a little bit on the hips too.
Feels good.
Doesn't it feel good just to move the spine? You kind of feel revived, right? So crossing one ankle over the thigh. Now this is kind of like how we sit in a chair, right? Watching TV like this. The difference is you want to sit up nice and tall.
Okay.
You also want to flex the feet. So make sure that left foot is flexed, right foot is right underneath your knee, and firmly press down into the floor so you feel the bounce back of energy up the spine. Now right away, do you kind of feel that in the hip a little bit?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I sure do. Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't, then start to tip forward just a little bit.
Yeah, now you can, especially
Yeah.
you do that. You do a double punch right there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all the people in the airport just think you're chilling, but you're really breathing into your hip and really getting into the hip and the piriformis. And we can do the other side too. Now, after you do these, and your body and your spine's
stiff
kind
hip.
of moving, right? I know.
I'm hearing cracking in places that aren't supposed to be cracking, young lady.
Well, what's funny about this is that the reason that it feels so tight and difficult is
Yeah.
because we don't do these things.
No kidding.
The more consistent you are about doing it, the less you'll be like, oh, this feels weird,
Right.
you know, and breathe into it.
What's really weird is if you're doing it with your right leg over your left one, a lot of people, that's their common move.
Right,
But
they
a lot of
might
people,
have
it's
one.
vice versa. And this
Right.
is not common for me. It's usually the left over the right.
And so that's one you really might have to focus on that one and breathe and make sure your alignment is correct. Left foot underneath the knee. Keep this foot very
Yeah, hamstrings are
flexed.
really getting a workout here now.
Yeah, and make sure to breathe into it. So wherever you're feeling that sensation, instead of resisting it like, oh, this hurts, try to breathe into it and release into it.
Okay.
This will also help, especially if you're doing the 3-part breath, calming your nerves. If you're a little bit nervous about flying, which sometimes I can be myself, I have to tap into that 3-part breath. So simultaneously, you're stretching the spine, but if you're doing 3-part breathing and elongating the exhale, you're calming yourself for the flight. So you're kind of doing a little multifunctional tool there. And no one's gonna know. No one's gonna look at you weird like they do with me in the airport.
I was gonna say, if you're sitting like this, no one would ever.
No one knows. Just keep
would ever
anything
know.
is yoga as long as you have conscious, mindful breathing. Really, washing dishes, mowing your lawn, or now we're into the season of snow blowing, but soon. But anything you do as long as it's conscious. And then the last thing I'll say is that they called you up, it's your time to board. As you go to grab your bag, kind of forward fold like we usually do, right? You can bend the knees and just take a moment to
I'm going to
allow-
touch the ground before you're done, young lady.
I know you
Okay.
will. But you can even bend the knees to help it a little bit. Yeah, hang from the waist. Blood comes to the head and then slowly roll up. And we just move the spine in all directions. So now the vertebrae is a little bit looser so you can feel one stack on top of the other. Nice big shoulder roll. And then you grab your bag and you're on your way.
Ready to go.
All right.
Yeah.
And starting it in a great way as opposed to being stressed or nervous.
But the breathing
yeah,
is
like
really
that.
key, isn't it?
Yep, the breathing is key. It's good for opening up the body. Again, instead of when you said, oh, I feel stiff, instead of kind of resisting it, if you breathe into it, the body will kind of like, okay, I'm safe. That resistance comes from the body feeling like it's unsafe. It wants
Under
to
stress, yeah.
and it wants to protect you. If it feels, that deep sensation, it's like, oh no, I want to protect, right?
Right.
So if you breathe into it, you're telling your body, no, this is good. This is how you're supposed to be. You're calming your mind for traveling. And then, do it on the plane as well. Maybe do it when you get to your destination. And then you feel calm and balanced.
And you're raring to go.
Raring to go.
Once again, folks, giving you no excuses of why you can't do some basic things of getting your body in tune with yoga. It's all about the breath, and it's all about working with a lovely lady that we're able to see every Monday who is now award-winning of all the great work that she does for
Yes, some of the coolest
yoga
awards
for
you're going to
first
see anywhere.
responders.
Oh, thank you,
If people
guys.
want more information because they're going to get more of a buzz about what's going on with everything you're doing,
Absolutely.
where should they go?
yogaforfirstresponders.org should have everything for you there. Our Facebook page as well. I have local events, monthly events at Peachtree Brewery. We're going to actually start teaching more classes there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I'll announce about that with all the proceeds going to the nonprofit. So
That's
please
awesome.
send me an email, and I would love to talk to anyone about what I do.
Wonderful. And if you want to catch any of the wonderful segments we have, weareiowa.com that you can see right here, so you can get in tune with breath as well. Hey, everybody. All right, so we will be back. You're watching CW Iowa.
Isn't this cool?